Well, Football Manager 2018 is finally upon us, and with that, I bring to you guys a brand new series with a brand new team. No Manchester United this year, unfortunately, as we move to Germany to play in the Bundesliga. I have now taken charge of Borussia Mönchengladbach. I did do an offline save with this team last year for FM17, and I had so much fun. And I'm sure that's going to be the case for FM this year, and I can't wait for you guys to join me on this journey in the Bundesliga. Borussia Mönchengladbach were founded in 1900. They've been around for 117 years, and in that time they've won 5 Bundesliga titles. They've won the Europa League twice and the Dutch Pokal 3 times. And as it says there, the club enjoyed probably their best spell of success during the 1970s, and since then it's been rather quiet on the silverware front. Now, in recent years, things have been kind of looking up for Borussia Mönchengladbach. They haven't won any silverware, but they've certainly been working towards that end. They've been pushing for it, but always seem to have just come up short. And I felt this was a really good opportunity, a really good opening to put my stamp on the team and really charge for that Bundesliga title, get them over that line. As you can see, in recent seasons, they reached the heights of 4th, 3rd, 2nd. You know, let's go that step further. Let's win the Bundesliga. Hell, let's even aim for the Champions League within the next 5 to 6 seasons. Let's see how we get on. Meeting with the president all out of the way and done with. Not much has changed there, so there's no point going through it with you guys. Having a look at our transfers update then. We've got 3 players currently out on loan and 1 player in on loan, which is Reece Oxford from West Ham. We all know the kind of reputation Reece Oxford has on Football Manager, a bit of a wonder kid. Unfortunately for him though, he's currently injured. He's going to be out for at least 2 months with that bruised ankle. Reece Oxford's one of many English players that have been snapped up. I know he's on loan, but there's been plenty of English players moving over to Germany just looking to get minutes, and he will get minutes here for Mönchengladbach. Now, looking at the medical centre, this is a new feature for Football Manager this year. So you can see current injuries, so it just lists them all here, gives you a little diagram of the area that's been affected. So we have Tony Jansch, Tobias Strobel, Reece Oxford, as you know, and Joseph Dermich, all out injured. Looking at that, that's 4 key players really. Strobel, Jansch, and they're all out for a couple of months at best. It's a bit of a blow, to be honest. Tony Jansch, a right back. We're kind of lacking in that position, as the 2 fullback positions anyway, as I'll show in just a moment. Strobel being out, he's another key player. Such a blow heading into the season. Strengths and weaknesses, pros and cons do return for Football Manager this year. Thankfully, we have more strengths than we do weaknesses. Youth prospects, now this is one of the aspects that really did pique my interest in the save on FM17 last year, was the amount of quality youth players that we've got. There is Mamadou Decore. He was fantastic for me on FM17, and I'm sure he'll be brilliant this year around, and Simkala. But looking at our weaknesses, straight away it's picking up the lack of quality and depth at the left back position behind Oscar Wendt. Also, you know, looking at the overall depth ties in with our transfer budget, which is only 4.5 million. It's not a lot at all, so we might have to be looking for loan players. We'll see how things go. But looking at squad depth, look at that, just three players that can play at left back. So that's an area that we'll look to try and strengthen in this transfer window. And as already mentioned, it will be mainly Oscar Wendt that will play there, but we do have Fabian Johnson, the American, that can play there, and Vestergaard's, yes he can, but maybe only as cover if there is an injury to either Oscar Wendt or Johnson throughout the season. And Wendt is getting on, 31 years of age. We desperately need to get this position sorted. Let's have a look at the rest of the squad then. So goalkeepers, 2 at the moment. We got Jan Sommer, first choice keeper without doubt. Vestergaard's, the age of 24, has plenty of playing time ahead of him. He's only going to get better as well. I mean, you just look at the anticipation, his bravery, composure. It's all shouting a good solid centre half in years to come. But Fortunately, he is currently wanted by Everton, Stoke and West Brom. It's certainly going to be difficult to try and keep him here, especially in this transfer window. Nico Elvedi, at the age of 20, another good, young, solid centre-half who unfortunately still has a lot to learn, but looking at his attributes, again, things are looking really good. I mean, you look at that composure for a 20-year-old, 16, that's fantastic. Teamwork as well. It's just what we want. We need the team to be tight-knitted if we want any chance of going all the way and winning the Bundesliga. Now, unfortunately, for me, he is currently wanted by PSG. Are we going to be able to keep hold of him if PSG come knocking? Is he going to want to be moving to France? It would be silly from his point of view to actually make the move to PSG, because I doubt he'd get any minutes. Now, Christoph Kramer, good quality central midfielder to have. He did used to play for Gladbach on loan. Then he made the move to Leverkusen, and now he's back at Gladbach after signing for 12.25 mil from Leverkusen. I'm really chuffed that he's in the side. I'm really happy, and we could probably build the team around him. Actually, the age of 26 years of age. It's just what you want from a central midfielder, someone that can break up that play and also pick out the pass for your forwards. Now, Dennis Zakaria, another Swiss young talent in the side, another central midfielder that just ticks all the right boxes. And in my offline save with Mönchengladbach for FM17, he absolutely dominated almost every game that he started in central midfield. It's good to be, well, it feels kind of good to be reunited with Patrick Hamann. Do you remember back on FM14 with Manchester United? I signed him and he was fantastic. And when you look back 3-4 seasons, things look really promising for Patrick Hamann, but since then he hasn't made a move to another team, hasn't really had the chance to prove himself. Well, I hope that's not going to be the case. Hopefully we can put that behind him and push on. Who knows, he could be a Champions League medal holder in the next 3 to 4 seasons. Fingers crossed, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? I mean, why not? I'm feeling confident in my own ability to get them there over the next couple of seasons. Up next is Thorgan Hazard. I'm pretty sure the majority of you are well aware of who Thorgan Hazard is. Brother of Eden Hazard of Chelsea. He's currently wanted by Napoli. I don't think he'll want to make the move. I've got my fingers crossed. I'm sure they'll come in, put in a bid, but I think we can keep hold of him. Hell, we need him in the side if we want any chance of any success this season. Vincenzo Griffo, quality player, scored an absolute screamer in real life recently, and pretty versatile going forwards for us. Raphael, been at the club for, I mean, he's 32 years of age now. How long's he been at the club for? 5 seasons. He moved from Schalke, came on loan, and then signed eventually for Gladbach for 4.2 mil. Since then, things have started to go a bit downhill. They did last season. He only managed to bag 7 goals. But I know and I'm confident. I mean, the finishing isn't the best for an experienced centre forwards, but I'm confident he can at least score more than 7 goals this season for us. I'm feeling confident that I can get the best out of him. So those are going to pretty much be the key players going forwards for this season for Mönchengladbach in the first team. Let's have a look at the under-23s, because again, there is such a handful of quality players to choose from here. Mamadou Decore, potential ability of 4 stars. It's just that torn hamstring which is holding him back, which has seen him out for 3 to 4 months. Massive blow for him. Being at the age of 19, being at that age, you want to be playing football, not being on the sidelines. We've got Simicala, the German international, the age of 20. Versatile again, central midfield, attacking midfielder, can play out on the left as well, maybe even have a short stint up top if need be, if Raphael or Griffo or Vieba were to get injured throughout the season. Now, for some reason, he's already been listed for loan, Simicala, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. Let's take him off that loan list, make him unavailable, because I want him to progress here at Mönchengladbach, whether that in the first team or the under-23s. Mike Feigenspan is another player that he's just wanting, he's just screaming out for being promoted to the first team, and I'm going to be more than happy to give him a chance throughout pre-season. And again, he's been listed for loan. I'm going to go ahead and change that. I want to see what he's capable of doing for us, not them. Let's be realistic about this then. So season expectations in the Bundesliga: Europa League qualification, Champions League qualification, or winner. I think being realistically, we can push for a Champions League qualification for next season. I think we can do that, and that'll bump up our transfer budget to 5.67. For the Deutsche Pokal, I'm going to go for reach quarterfinal. I mean, the Bundesliga's got to be my priority this season, as we're not in any other competition. And to be honest, I'm not too fussed about the Deutsche Pokal. I know Mönchengladbach have won it 3 times, but I want to. My main priority in the save is to win the Bundesliga and to eventually go all the way in the Champions League. So let's lock that in. Social feed, not too fussed about that. Let's continue. There is a restricted transfer window as well for the Bundesliga. So, squad dynamics introduction. I've put together a report on the dynamics within the squad in order to keep you informed of the relationships and overall happiness in the dressing room. I advise familiarising yourself with the dynamics of the squad before talking to the team. So this is also new to FM this year. Top influencers are Christoph Kramer and Oscar Wendt, those 2 experienced players from Mönchengladbach. Now, match cohesion is poor at the moment because we haven't got to training just yet. Dressing room atmosphere, average. We currently have no unhappy players. That's good to see. We currently have 2 players at the club, including the first team, who are considered to be very happy. 2 negatives. We have a wide range of ages amongst the players. We need to get that just right, so we've got experienced players who can help out the younger ones. Managerial support is poor at the moment. Now, hierarchy, I like the look of this. You got the manager at the top, so you got your team leaders, Kramer, Wendt and Stindl, who is captain for Mönchengladbach. Highly influential players, Hermann, Janschke, Sommer and Johnson, players that have been at the club for a while. And then you've just got the either the newcomers, the under-23s, towards the bottom. Now, social groups. There are a lot in the core social group. That's good to see that everyone is mixing in, they're gelling. Although there are 3 at the bottom. These are mainly for the newcomers, I would have thought, like Vieber, like Badila. I want to call them, I suppose it kind of sounds harsh to say so, but I want to call them outcasts, but they're not. They're not. They're new arrivals, or they're just players that haven't settled just yet, like Vieber, like Badila, and players like Ruud Vormer here are players that would mix in well. Apparently they're recommended players. I like this as well. Happiness. It's always, morale is such a huge thing. It always has been on Football Manager, but I think there is even more focus on it this year. Vestergaard is one of those players that's very happy. Is that because he's wanted by a Premier League side? Hope not. I hope he hasn't got his heart set on moving to England. Who else is very happy? I can't see who it was. It did say there was 2 really happy players, or that are currently very happy. Can't see who it is, but overall, things are looking okay. Let's introduce myself to the squad then. So we're going to be calm. Wanted to take the opportunity to introduce myself as a new manager. Welcome, I'm pleased to see you in charge. Hope your reign is long and successful. So, we can make a charge for the title this season. No, that's not realistic. I've set my expectations to making Champions League this season, so let's click on that. Good reaction. That's exactly the kind of ambition I want to see from a manager. Will qualify for the Champions League this season. I'm going to be passionate. That's exactly the sort of reaction I was after. So we got quite a long pre-season to get through. We start against Krasnodar at home. We finish against Werburg Beek. I think that's how you pronounce the side. We do play Paderborn within pre-season and also Lazio. And we will have to play Paderborn again to kick off the season in the first round of the Deutsche Pokal. But our first game in the Bundesliga is at home, and it is against Mainz. One game to watch out for, though, is that away fixture quite early on against Cologne. Cologne are, as you can see, Mönchengladbach's most fierce rivals. It's a local rivalry, so we've got to keep an eye out for that fixture whenever it does pop up. Other rivalries include Bayern Munich. I think everyone's a rival of Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga because of their success. So we do have Cologne quite early on. Shame the first game is away against them, but look at that run of fixtures. Then we got Schalke, then we got Wolfsburg and Leipzig as well. Hertha Berlin, Leverkusen, Dortmund. I think our final game before the winter break is away to Bayern Munich. because then we've pretty much got a month off because of that winter break. Then we return away to Mainz, and then the final game of the season is against Bayern Munich at home. So there we have it. That is our fixture list for this first season in charge of Borussia Mönchengladbach. And that is it for this first episode. I do hope you guys have enjoyed. Join me for the next one, as I will be reviewing our pre-season, and we will be kicking things off in the Deutsche Pokal first round against Paderborn. Don't miss it. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching.